my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is going to be a live preview unboxing with a bonus. I'm going to actually show some cool things that I picked up when I was in Nova Scotia visiting my family. So some pretty cool books, actually. Some really cool things, actually. Really, really cool things. So bit of stuff that I picked up from my parents and this unboxing. I've actually cut down on my comic purchases. It's hard to believe based on what you're going to see, but I really have. I really have cut down my spending. Last time I think it was six big boxes. Well, this time it's only two big boxes. So it was 66 pounds of comics. So yeah, I can see the two big boxes right there. And yeah, so it's gonna be pretty cool stuff though. You know, I'm buying less, but buying more quality stuff, I guess. I always try to buy quality, but you know, it should be good stuff. So yeah, so quickly I'm gonna say hi to all the people that came. I'm glad this is very impromptu. Well, usually when I get a new stackery thing, you know, basically they're consolidating all my comics, and then I get them shipped out, and I never know when they're going to arrive, so I never can really plan it out. Like this one was supposed to arrive on Thursday of last week. It did, and it got stuck in customs. I had a big argument with FedEx and customs. It was very fun. I was trying to use a method to get duty free, the comics into Canada duty free, and they were just being really annoying, really annoying about it, and just giving me a lot of grief. So these books were supposed to arrive a week ago. They arrived today. I was happy that they even arrived, because like the weird thing was they kept on saying, "Oh, packages not sure where they are." I was like, "What are you saying?" It's the weirdest thing. So eventually they have arrived. I'm hoping they're okay. We're going to get into them in a second. I'm just going to quickly say hi to everybody in the chat. Hi, everybody in the chat. We got K Munin. Hey, K Munin. We got Robbie Josephs. I can't do the accents that Steven does, but thanks for coming. We got Matt Likes Comics. Hey. And we have Stevie D. Hi, Stevie D. And who else do we got? We got MJ Comics. Hi, MJ. And we got Brian Wade. So yeah, so very, you know, I think a lot of people don't even realize I'm doing this. So it's a very small, probably audience for this, but hey, you guys are getting the special treatment here. And hi, Kenneth. So I'm going to open up the first box. It should be pretty cool, some cool stuff. I'm not sure. I might even show some of the stuff inside, because there's always like a lot of bubble wrap and stuff. They packed it well. Lots of extra bubble wrap. I don't know why so much extra bubble wrap. Oh my goodness. It's hard to believe I did cut back on my I just pulled out the biggest stack here. Oh my goodness. So this is all the raw a bunch of raw comics. And this is me cutting back on my shopping. Can you believe that? Ugh, man, I'm horrible. Okay. So that's the first package. Oh my goodness. And there's another one just as big. Another stack of raw comics. And these are mostly Golden Age. I did buy a few modern, but mostly Golden Age. And what else we got? Oh my goodness, more raws. All raws. I think they put all the raws into one box. And whatever this is, something. I'm not sure what this is. So yeah. What is this? Okay. I'm not even sure what that is. Okay, that's the first box, actually. So just a bunch of raw comics. So this might be much quicker. I'm used to like digging out and there's like just a huge amount of stuff. This one might not have, like, as I said, it's not as much stuff as some of the other unboxings. Lots of bubble wrap. Okay, so you can probably recognize some store. Ding. Okay, so like that. Oh, okay, I'm going to show this one. This is cool. This is stuff that I have to show. So hopefully Chonko's here. I got something from Chonko here. There's some Chonko surprises in here. Okay. Oh no. Okay, hopefully get this off. One sec here. There was tape that got stuck to something. Okay, managed to get it off. Okay. So, whole bunch of Chonko things. I'm going to show that in a second. And some slabs, whole bunch of slabs. These are all my Heritage Auction wins. This caused me a lot of grief. Oh my goodness. Okay. And some other slab, mystery slab. Oh, some more cool books. This is a really cool Disney magazine. 1930s, like Platinum Age book. And we got some more stuff. Oh, this is like another. Whenever you see these like green labels, that's from Heritage Auctions. Actually, this makes really cool sound. Okay, and what is that? Looks like some cool slab. So this box is all the slabs. Okay, some pre-code horror I can see. And oh my goodness, lots of slabs. Some more slabs. Well, I'm going to show some cool stuff. Don't worry. Even though I'm just showing the unboxing, being like random preview things, I am going to show some real books at the end. So don't worry. So there's going to be some cool stuff. Your minds are going to go, wow. Okay. It's going to be cool. Trust me. Okay. I'm just getting it all out. Just one sec. Okay. Some more slabs. And we're almost done, actually. Believe it or not, almost done with all the more slabs. These are all from Heritage Auctions. I want a ton of stuff from Heritage Auctions. Any risque books? Hey, Matt, thank you. Bubble Wrap Comics. These are all like from that famous run of Bubble Wrap Comics. Very, very high quality books. Any risque books? I think there might be one or two. Not too much. I didn't really buy that much risque stuff. I find the risque stuff kind of is a bit of a money drain. Yeah. Like they're not like ones you can resell or anything. But, and then one more slab. And that's it. Believe it or not, that's all that was in this one. Still a lot. Probably about 30 slabs. And maybe a couple hundred raws. So fair amount of stuff. But I'm going to actually show you some of the things that Chonko sent me. So Chonko sent me some stickers. So he sent me a little dog sticker. He sent me a whole bunch of these. So I got a whole bunch. So now I can be a cool Chonko guy. So if you haven't checked out Chonko Comics, I recommend his channel. Very good stuff. He did the top Silver Age covers today. Oh, and oh, somewhere inside, K Munin, this is for you. Okay, I'm not going to show it, but I'm going to semi-show it. Okay, this is for you. One of the orders that's in this unboxing is my Zombie Tramp. The latest Zombie Tramp came out, and they sent me a bunch of stuff. Oh, hey Chonko, thank you, by the way. So I got some of your stuff. I'm going to show more from you, but I also got my Zombie Tramp things, and I'm going to show kind of briefly like this. I'm not sure if you can see anything. It's semi-censored, so I can probably get away with it. But this is like, I guess it came with some bonus. These are the bonuses that came for the Zombie Tramp, the recent Zombie Tramp sale from Dan Mendoza. And these are the Zombie Tramps. So it's like little cards. I can show you the other ones on the back. Maybe I'll take them out. I won't show. I'll try to. I have to finger censor these, but so this is the Zombie Tramp ones. These are just the bonuses. I don't know where this. I didn't see the Zombie Tramp in here, but it's probably in here somewhere. But okay, let me try to get this out. These are really like they really packaged it well. It's in like a little thing. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna put that over here. Oh, okay. And I gotta kind of censor this a little bit. Okay, actually here. I'm gonna show you the non-censor, like the censored one. So this is Zombie Tramp. I don't know, like some new version. And you got Zula. So like the little trading cards. And you got the, sadly, the blank sketch variant. But no sketch. Sometimes he'll throw in like a sketch, which will be really cool. I got it once where he threw in an original sketch within the Zombie Tramp thing that I got. I was the lucky guy for that. Got some more cards. And then we got one more. And this one I'm going to show. It's kind of a little risque. Fun one. So yeah, so those are like so I got a bunch of Zombie Tramps in this unboxing. I'll show those when they come. And then I even got a Zombie Tramp pin that came. And the next thing is, I don't know what happened here, but Chonko's thing got a little bit grungy. Chonko sent me also, other than the stickers and stuff, he sent me a cool shirt. So we got an official Chonko shirt and has like the I'm a Chonko maniac, and then you got his YouTube channel at the bottom. So that's cool. Comics and nerd culture. So Chonko Comics. So that's pretty fun. I thought that was great. So those are the things from this unboxing that I can show. I'm not sure if there was there anything else, Chonko, that you sent? I think it was just the pin, the stickers and the shirt, which is great. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Now I'm going to show you. I know this is a very quick preview, actually. I flipped through them pretty quick. I'm actually now going to show you something cool. I want to show you some stuff. Oh, you sent me some signed comics? Oh my goodness. I will find those later. When I do my full unboxing and go through all these packages, I will actually, link out to your channel and give you a special shout out, thank you video. Okay. So, because I have no idea, no idea where your comics are in this pile. So yeah, so I'll show those, well, they're cool, but these are even cooler. And you'll trust me, when you see these, your minds will be blown. So my grandfather, who was born in 1907, to give you a sense of how long ago he was, he was a book collector. So the comic book collecting gene, was in my family for a while. It wasn't just me. So yeah, it was, it's a family trait that we're collectors. And my grandfather, he would collect first edition books, like famous books. And I'm going to show you some of them. And I'm going to show you some of my books as well from my childhood. So the first, this is in really rough shape. Sadly, my parents, when they got these books, they didn't take necessarily the best care of them. So it got damaged. But this is a first edition, first UK edition of Ben-Hur. And this is from 1880. If you're not familiar with the story of Ben-Hur, it's one of the best movies ever made. Um, did my dad collect? So my dad was into music. He collected a lot of old albums and stuff like that. So he had a lot of pretty cool albums. Um, and my mom, what did my mom? My mom's more into Hummels and what's it called? Royal Daltons. That's what she collects. So they do collect stuff too. But sadly, those things are not that valuable anymore. But this is a first edition Ben-Hur. I looked it up. I was like, oh, it must be worth something. It's worth about $50. Even in this condition, it's about $50. Not super valuable, sadly. The next thing that he had is this is a Jane Austen book, and it's Sense and Sensibility, a first edition of Sense. They don't look like much from the outside, so I had to open it up. But it's a first edition of Sense and Sensibility from Jane Austen. That's pretty cool. I couldn't find a comparable for this one. I would find collected editions, which were much later. This is fairly early. This is like early 1800s. So kind of a cool book. And I'm not sure what year. The weird thing is, because it's a first edition, sometimes they don't say the year. All I know was it's T. Nielsen and Sons. So I'm not sure if this is truly a first edition or if it's a later, like, sometimes they would reprint it under a different publisher. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a first edition. So yeah, kind of cool book. And I'll show those at the end. And we have, I don't know why this one's in plastic, but it was in plastic. We got a first edition, a first Canadian edition. I have to be a little bit careful to say that, of Captain Blood, another kind of cool adventure story. So first edition of Captain Blood. Somebody paid $5 for it, probably about 50 years ago. So yeah, so that's another thing that he had. This is one of the bigger ones. We got a first edition of Swiss Family Robinson. Thought that was pretty cool. At least I'm pretty sure it's first edition. I couldn't find, like, this is, yeah, it doesn't, like, usually when you can tell like a first edition, because it will say on later editions, like multiple printing, like copyright dates. This only has the one. So I'm not sure if this is a first, but the only other problem is sometimes different publishers will start publishing it. And then you'll get these weird things where it's like first edition by certain publisher. So I'm not sure if this is a first edition of this publisher or first edition in general. But I'm pretty sure it's a first edition in general. But Swiss Family Robinson, great story. Yeah, so first edition Swiss Family Robinson. Now, for me, the next biggest book in the lot, there's two more. And this is like a book that I really enjoyed as a kid. Bit heavy in terms of subject matter, but I think it's like so relevant to today, and it's one that I definitely thought was a great book. This is the first edition of 1984 Canadian edition. Now, the difference between the American edition and the Canadian edition of 1984 is the American edition, I think, had a green cover, like a slipcase, what's a dust jacket. The Canadian edition, the first Canadian edition, had the red dust jacket. Really great book, really relevant to today. It's like, I feel like nowadays, like whoever's running the world is using this as their playbook. I don't know. It's the craziest, craziest thing, but great story. If you haven't read 1984, you know, basically, yeah, you've really missed out. This is a great book, probably one of the greatest books of all time. And yeah, it's George Orwell. You know, if you ever hear the idea of Orwellian, well, that's based on his name. The fact that, you know, it's very predictive of the future, or like these dystopian futures. Now, those are some of the bigger books. The last book, which is truly the biggest book of the lot, is this one. Doesn't look like much. It's actually quite small. It's got this really cool binding. Actually, if you ever see books with this kind of cool, like ridged binding, um, it's called rib cage binding. Uh, Usually, um, they are very old, and this is a very old book. It's actually a prayer book, and I can show you the inside. And this is a book of common prayer and administration of the sacraments, divine service for the Church of Scotland, King James the Sixth. So this is a King James the Sixth first edition of the Book of Common Prayer. This is from 1637. So this book is almost 400 years old. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a pretty cool thing. I mean, my grandfather had some pretty cool stuff. There's more that I have to bring, but you know, it's there's not much. It's not exciting inside, but it's just a book of common prayer. But you know, 400-year-old book. I think that's pretty cool. You know, it's the oldest book in my collection. So, you know, I rescued these things. These are all rescue books, in my opinion, because my parents are at that stage in their life where they just want to get rid of everything. They're literally gonna trash it, just like either donate it or throw it in the trash. And it would be really sad if something like this got mixed in with, you know, just books that are just being discarded. So I rescued these books. These are all, in my opinion, rescue books, and they're pretty major books, so I had to save them. Yeah, so 400-year-old book, I think, is a pretty cool thing. Um, you know, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but you can, like, it's all like you can tell somebody spent some time it's like kind of like a leather like binding, and then it's like been kind of like somebody did some work on it where it's got this kind of design pattern that, you know, looks like almost hand done. Not sure if you can see that. It's quite beautiful though. It's hard to see. It's like, but it is a really cool book. So those were the ones from my grandfather's collection. Um, I had a couple in my own collection, which are not as cool. Not as cool. Um, uh, yeah, this is like you got, this is I love Pac-Man as a kid. This is Pac-Man and the Riddle and Joke Book. I love joke books as well. I wasn't necessarily the funniest kid, but I did try. Um, so this is like, you know, just a old Pac-Man book. And this is my first edition book. I don't know. It's like first edition of Pac-Man. Hi, Biggie. So yeah, so that's mine. And then another one that I got, and this one I actually thought, hey, this might be kind of something cool, is it's called Blips. And if you're familiar with Blip magazine, um, Blip magazine is where the first appearance of Donkey Kong is in comics. I think also Mario made his first appearance in Blip magazine. So just a cool, cool one. So this is Blips. I'd kill for a cheeseburger. And he's eating all these dots. But yeah, these are just, you know, kind of fun little comic books from the from the early 80s when the Pac-Man craze. I'm not sure if you guys remember the Pac-Man craze where everything was Pac-Man. Pac-Man was so huge. Um, probably like the biggest, like probably the biggest phenomena I can think of in terms of video games, like in terms of the not just like you have the gamer community really appreciating it, but it was not just that. It was in the cultural zeitgeist. It was like this thing where there was books being created about it, there was TV series created about it, there was just everything was Pac-Man. It was just everywhere. It was so crazy at the time. Yeah, I fell into that craze. I enjoyed Pac-Man, so I'd have all these Pac-Man stickers and Pac-Man books, and I even had the little mini console for Pac-Man. And the funny thing was, actually, I preferred Miss Pac-Man over Pac-Man, because the difference between Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man was in Miss Pac-Man you had like in between certain stages, you'd have like sort of like a little cut scene that they would do, and they would do like little, just some cut scene. Um, See, Stevie D gets it. Pac-Man was huge. Okay, it was just crazy. Um, so yeah, so big 80s thing. That was a big. If you're into the 80s stuff, that was the thing in the 80s. So I know this was a bit of a shorter preview video. Um, I'll have to dig through and find Chunko's thing. Oh, so Callie, you were born in 1983. So you're 10 years younger than me. I was born in 1973. And so the 80s were much more part of my childhood. Like that was the kind of time that was kind of the fundamental time for me in terms of my development. Um, See, Lau knows. Miss Pac-Man was a better game. He's sort of like the next evolution, right? I just really like Miss Pac-Man too. Thought she was cute. And yeah, oh, and Carrie's from 1971. So what I noticed actually in my analytics, when when you do these kind of YouTube channels, you get analytics, and the analytics show that pretty much everybody is like around the same age as me. It's like I feel like the people that watch this channel are clones of myself. It's really weird. It's like you look at your analytics and it's like, oh, they're male, they're usually around 40 to 60 years old, that kind of range. Uh, like it's like it's just like seeing yourself in analytics kind of thing. It's weird. It's a really weird thing. Um, but yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this little preview. Um, I'm actually planning to go to Superman if my son ever wakes up. So that's my plan for today. Um, I plan to go to Superman. I really do want to see the Superman movie. I've heard bad reviews so far, but I'm a little bit nervous about that. But I'm hoping it's going to be good. Hopefully the reviewers are just overly critical, which I doubt, but they seem like usually pretty on the spot. But I'm going to go see Superman. Um, Things to look forward to on this channel is this unboxing. I'm going to be showing this stuff over the next few weeks. You can see, what's inside. There are some pretty cool books. I did get some pretty cool grails that are in this unboxing, and I will be showing those over the next few weeks. And what else is big? Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a comic cover challenge that's really cool. It's Superman covers in honor of Superman coming out. So stay tuned for that. And on Saturday, I'm reviewing Ironheart in a very unusual way. So if you watch my Saturday video, it's going to be all about Ironheart. And if I'm just curious, has anyone in the chat watched this latest Ironheart TV series? It was very questionably bad. It was so weird. I've never like I feel like Hollywood and movies, the movie industry, the Disney and all those, they've lost sense of what is a good person and what is a bad person. And I feel like the Ironheart show was kind of like not the hero's journey, but more of the villain's journey. Like I feel like Riri Williams was it's like the evolution of how to become a supervillain kind of thing. I felt like that's what it was. Very odd TV series in that respect. So I review it and I break it all down in my Saturday video, so you can watch that. It's a interesting video. Um, so yeah, so thanks everyone for hanging out. If you guys have any questions before I go, because I'm running short, you can ask me and I'll show whatever I can. Um, but yeah. Oh, yeah, we were kind of brutal on Identity Crisis too. So if you're not familiar with Identity Crisis, it's a 7-part series. We are doing it on Book Club, and we do that on the Immortal Biggie Shacks channel. Great channel, check it out. Uh, and basically, Biggie and I were in line. We agreed that the story just wasn't for us. It just wasn't that good. Everyone else loved it and thought it was the greatest thing, and we were brutal. Yeah, we were pretty brutal, right, Callie? Yeah. So I was especially brutal. I got to go first before Biggie got to do his thing, and yeah, I don't know. I just thought it just didn't work. Feel like it didn't work for me. Um, do you want to see the Fritz the Cat book? Okay, I can show the Fritz the Cat book. I can just give me a sec. I'll just grab it. I just have to walk over here. This is it's huge actually. It's a very big book. Like if you compare it to a here, I'm going to compare it to a Golden Age book and see it's huge. Yeah, but Fritz the Cat, Robert Crumb, and just a great book. So yeah, I'm not sure. I actually really like Robert Crumb's art. The thing that I thought was really cool about Robert Crumb is he would literally, go to like, like downtowns, and he would just sort of sit and like doodle like all the scenery within like a downtown place. And he would like, telephone poles and all the wires and all that kind of stuff. He would basically just doodle those, and then he would use those in his books. He would basically create all these like little composites, and then he would add those kind of details when he was creating his books. So a lot of like this one doesn't really this photo doesn't really show it, but inside you'll see what I'm saying. It's it's a lot of details. Do I have Big Ass Comics? Yes, I do. I could grab it maybe. That would be a little harder to grab. But I do have it. I actually have, it's not a first printing, it's a second printing. I think I also have a first printing, but I'd have to look for that one as well. But my big ass is the name of the book, is a graded copy. So it's a nice copy actually. Um, Hi, Bride Bridezella, Bridezell. And then check out my tribute to your Monday live when you have a moment, Alan. If you want no biggie. Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll check it out. Actually, Archivist, do you have my Instagram? You can Instagram me and and just send me the link and I'll go over and check it out. I get busy, and then what I'll do is if people send me links to things, I will generally just put it so if you have me on Instagram, just send me the link, and what I'll do is I just watch it. Like, so I'm generally working all the time. Like today, I was like running around. Like you wouldn't believe all the crazy stuff that I did today in the last few days. It's just craziness, all the stuff that I was doing. I'm running a crazy big business, actually. Sometimes it's a little bit much. But if you send me the link, I'll watch it while I'm working. That's how I live, actually. I watch videos as I work. It keeps me sane because my work can be a little crazy, little nuts. It's just yeah. I'm always trying to survive. Um, so that's why I do this comic channel, because it keeps me mentally there, dealing with all the stuff from my work. Um, one more thing I have to show you guys, and I showed this actually before, so I'm going to show it again though, and because I really really love it. Is this book. This is also one of the books that I brought back from my parents' house. This is from my collection when I was getting into comics back in the 90s. Um, and it was like, I love these price guides. I was a big fan of the Wizard price guide. I would buy it religiously. And I just love looking through these. The thing that amazes me most about this is that it features so much golden age stuff. Like I always think of Wizard as being just a modern, you know, comic magazine. Like I didn't really think about it at the time because I was mainly into the modern books back then. But the amount of golden age stuff and the pricing for golden age stuff is just crazy to me. So look, like actually, one sec here. Where is it? Look, they even have Pocket Comics #1. That's the first appearance of the Black Cat. I love that book. They have Pep Comics #1. I have both of those, actually. They have Pep Comics #22. They have like so many. Sensation #1. Like it's just all these things. It's just where they showcasing all these classic comics. And then I looked up the prices for stuff, and I just like, wow. I wish I could get a time machine and go back and just buy buy all these books. Like I think of Venus 19, which I almost bought just recently, in this guide was selling for $20 or $12. It was something crazy low. Like normally nowadays it's like 1,000, or no, it's not 1,000. It's more like $2,000 or $3,000 per point. And they were saying a high grade copy of Venus 19 is more like now, and back then was like $12. Just so crazy. So I just think it's really interesting seeing the old prices, and then things that actually were priced high back in this day. Um, they're still valuable, but they didn't go up nearly as much, which really shocks me. Some of the books that were considered valuable and that are not that big of a deal now. I mean, they still went up well. I mean, I'd say you got a good return on your investment in terms of, if you had bought them back then. But you could have bought so many other books and for pennies on the dollar, and you would have made a killing. But some of the ones like, here's a good example. Um, Batman #11. One sec here. Batman #11 was $2,000, okay, in high grade. Now, probably that's like a $20,000 to $30,000 book now. So that sounds like, oh, it went up 10 times. That's really great. But compare that to the Venus or even the Black Cat Mystery. Like the Black Cat Mystery in this was not even like sectioned out as some special book. It was just another, like, from 20 to 50 something was, and they would just say was this value, like $20 each. It's like, it's crazy when you read this, and it's like, and these books, like, nowadays we use Go Collect and all this kind of stuff, but these books were the price. If you took this to like a comic shop, often you could actually argue and get the prices to kind of match. Now, what they would do is there was generally high, medium, and low. So it's like kind of that kind of thing. And where they would argue is more on the grade. Like, they would argue, oh, um, this is like a higher grade than really what it was. That was a big thing that they would do. They would say, oh, it's a high grade, because like high, medium, low, what doesn't mean much. Like medium is like anywhere from a 3.0 to like a 7.0. That's a medium grade. It's like, well, that doesn't really mean much. That's pretty broad number of um, books that would fit into that. So a lot of the time when you're dealing with the comic book dealers back then, I just remember this all the time. You bring in a price guide, and they would honor it. They would actually honor it, but they would often sort of argue on, oh, whether it's high, medium, or low. And a lot of the time they would take a low book and say that it was a medium, or they would say a medium book is a high. It was kind of bogus, but that's how they would get the little higher price than what the guide would say. So yeah, it was an interesting time. But I remember the 90s going back, and I remember Spawn 1. Spawn 1, you think of, oh, that's a big, that's not that big of a book, because there were so many of them printed. But back then it was like a wall book, and it was like $20. You can buy a raw copy of Spawn 1 now for $20. It's like, there hasn't been that much of a change. But other books that were sort of, like, yeah, Black Terror is a good example. If you look up here, I'll look up Black Terror. This is what amazes me. Black Terror, Black Hawk, Black Terror. Okay. Black Terror. Where's Black Terror? Black. I found Black Stone. Oh, here it is, Black Terror. Actually, Black Terror was expensive. Still, number one was $800 in high grade. But then the other issues are like $125. So now, if you look at the Black Terrors, there are roughly $10,000. Depending on which book it is. Some are cheaper, but for high grades, But the thing that amazes me is some of the pre-code horror was really dirt cheap back in the 90s. So I like looking at these old guides. It's kind of fun. I don't know. I feel like, oh, I wish I had spent more money on that rather than that. It's just like that kind of, going back in time kind of thing. So that's me rambling for a little while. I hope you enjoyed me rambling. But yeah, so thanks everyone for watching. The first video from this next unboxing will drop on Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoy it. It should be some great stuff. Again, thanks everyone for watching. Bye for now.